I'm so excited. I've never played an amphitheater before. So like, and of course I got a sunburn the day before I was going to play my first amphitheater show. And I'm really, really excited, and I'm really like stoked and grateful for AJR to let me like warm the crowd up for them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited.
Are you enjoying being on tour, just like in general? I know that you've been on tour and you're just kind of continuing with AJR.
This is the 5th tour, I believe. So last year I did 1, and so in the past 2 months I've done like 3 or 4 tours.
Whoa.
It's been so much fun though. I absolutely love it.
What's it feel like to see people out there on stage and to be able to perform in front of them like a rock star?
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Like I started like I've been doing like writers rounds and shows ever since I was a little kid. I started going to Nashville at 10, and I really was doing rounds and as many shows as I could for like 4 years. And so I was very, very, very used to like singing in a crowded bar where nobody's paying attention to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, how old were you when you were doing that?
I was 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Like, I was just trying my best to like go anywhere anyone would let me. I was just like the little 12-year-old in a bar with X's on her forehead and hands and everywhere. Like, anywhere they could be the most like visible. She is a child.
She's a performer.
Which is so interesting because your music is just so mature.
Thank you.
That's like you've lived 7,000 lives listening to your album, The Study of the Human Experience, right? Or is it EP?
Yeah, it's an EP.
EP.
Yeah.
Listening to it, me and her were talking about it. Like, there's nothing but bangers.
Yeah, we're like, bangers after bangers.
Bro, thank you. I appreciate that.
And when you do have an album, or I'm sorry, an EP that like from front to back, it's just so good. Like every single song. How do you pick which one? Like, how did you pick that ABCD would be the one that you put out as first, I guess?
Like, I guess I had a few songs put out before ABC, so I think it made that decision easier because it wasn't the first thing I did. For me, those things are like, I always want to like hit a different target or goal when I'm releasing a song, or just show a different side of myself. I tried to release like my original name's Taylor, but I go by like at 14 I like cut my hair, pierced my nose. I'm like, I'm Gayle now. Like it just kind of like happened. And my mom was like, okay, whatever. But I like the first song I released was called Dumb. And it was basically about a point in time in my life where I was just really scared to like be myself, and I was letting other people's opinions affect how I was choosing to represent myself. And it was kind of like me going through the emotional processing of that, trying to be like, okay, I'm over it. Like I'm trying my best to like get over that, but I'm still in that spot every once in a while. And then a song released after that was called Z. I felt like a lot of memes. I was seeing a lot of memes and just things on Twitter about Gen Z, like just how like stupid we are, but it's like really funny. Like, and then a TikTok I think just kind of like made like just put a bit of a spotlight on like the chaoticness of Gen Z and like just things that like other generations like to make fun of it. And I feel like it was very Gen Z to make fun of the way that people make fun of Gen Z by making fun of us, you know, just completely taking every stereotype and then just fully accepting it. And then a song after that was like a breakup song, just kind of showing like, it's a song called I'm Happy for You but I'm Sad for Us. And it was just and it's just, you know, like about, I was just so in love with this person. It was just, I wrote that song about the same person I wrote ABC about, and then a song after that was called Orange Peel, and that was kind of showing more of like the soulful R&B influences that I had growing up as a young kid and just like becoming the person I am. That was a very, very monumental, important time in my life. And I'd like, even Aretha Franklin was like the reason why I did music, and I just wanted a song out there that was also so much fun. I wrote that song with some of my favorite people to make music with in Nashville. And then with ABC, like one of the reasons why I was like interested to see how it was going to work or how people were going to take it, because it was the first time I was openly angry in a song. Even for Happy for You, like I was talking about how I feel guilty for cutting you off, but one of us had to do it. And like I almost threw up when I found out you hooked up with somebody, and like it was very like I was in a very like point and place where it's very about me, but it was me being very hurt by this person. And this was a time where I was like, no, this is on you. And I never released something angry like that before, but I think it also kind of showed I like to think I'm a very sarcastic person, and I'm also very, very like serious person, and I think this was like kind of pushing myself to be more lighthearted and sarcastic and just like being angry, and it just showed different emotions that I don't think I had shown in my other music before. And then even with the EP, I wrote the songs when I was 15, 16, and 17, and so there's a few songs I've wanted, like I wrote Kiddie Pool and a song called Orange Peel and Z around the same time, and I was 15. I was just in such like monumental point in my life where I was just like writing a bunch, and then I just always wanted to put it out, and then I ended up like signing my deal with Atlantic, and I just never really had a time to like put it out, even especially trying to release music independently during the pandemic was really, really difficult. It was so hard to get people to try and notice you, and TikTok was just kind of starting to become more of a thing, but how to utilize it and how to use it, like I didn't know, like I didn't wake up one day and was like, I know TikTok. Like that took like months and months to figure out, and I still don't have it. Like there's no formula I have. I just kind of post things I think are funny and just see what happens, you know? And so, and then even with like the second project, there's songs I wrote when I was 16, 17, about to turn 18, like, you know, like I just kind of have these songs that represent a moment and time in my life that I really, if it's still important to me 2 years later, that is kind of how I know that I should like actually like want to work on it and put it out. And I wrote ABC almost 2 years ago. Now it's coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
And so it feels old to you, or does it still feel new?
It feels super old to me.
Which is so crazy because it's like people are just kind of now hearing it and you're like, no, I have even more to say.
Yeah, well, because it's even funny because people are like, how do you write a song after ABC? And I was like, there's a year in between when I wrote ABC and where I put it out. I literally wrote it August of 2020, and then I put it out August of 2021. And so there's just, I've been trying to write after ABC for literally a year, and I'm still trying to do that now, you know.
How many songs do you have that you're like, these are bangers, but you are holding off on releasing
in your vault?
There's a few, like I'm never sitting here being like, this is the smash hit banger, you know.
I bet,
There's some that I'm like, I really believe in this, or this song doesn't suck, or I really like something conceptually. I would say there's probably 8 songs that I'm really, really, really stoked for. Really excited.
That's awesome.
And will this be like going on an album, or will this be going on
I think
another EP?
I still want to come out with another body of work. I don't think I want to do an album just yet. I think that's more of like a next year type of vibe.
So would it be like a volume 2?
Why would I ever do
why would it be called Volume 1? Here I am being a little detective. Breaking news.
Well, I just love how mature your music sounds and like how free you are with your words, and like we're listening to some of these cuss words you're saying. I was like, I could never cuss in front of my mom. Like,
dude, my mom's in the corner right now. Just
so when you play your music for your mom for the first time and there are cuss words in it, does it feel weird?
Well, okay, so I started writing songs when I was 10, and I started cursing in them when I was like 13, 14, and it was because of my best friend Sarah, who I wrote ABC with, and I started writing songs with her when I was 12. And I remember the first time we cursed in a song because it was the first line we cursed. It was like, forgive and forget that I forgave you, holding on to all the that you do. And I remember she said it, and I was like, can we do that? And then our moms were upstairs drinking coffee while we were in my bedroom writing songs, and so then we called our mom and we're like, okay, are we allowed to say yes, you can.
So she's like your biggest cheerleader,
no,
like
she's
biggest
the
support.
Best. I adore her. I adore her to death. And then even like with ABC, I showed that song to my mom and my grandmother, and like how is my grandmother gonna react to that? That was something I was really nervous about.
Yeah.
Right.
And
right.
She was like, you get to say all the things at 17 that I never could.
Oh.
And that really spoke to me because she wouldn't be able to speak that freely. Even my mother at 17.
Yeah.
She was 17. She wouldn't be able to do that. And so I think it put things in a completely new perspective of just being like this, like especially as being like a young woman. And there's been so many women before me that have literally paved the way to let women like me to say the things that we say. And I think it's still continuing the cycle of trying to pave the way for girls when like I'm 50 and they're 17-year-olds saying things that maybe I wasn't going to be able to say at 17, you know? Like to be openly angry as a young woman, like that wasn't necessarily something that was going to be accepted.
It is super cool to see you really know who you are, especially since you are so young. Like you have so much to say that you've already said, and we cannot wait to see what else you have to say.
This is just, I mean, like, I know you've been doing it like since you were like 10.
Yeah.
And but this is the beginning for us to see you do this, and I just can't wait.
We're joining your journey.
Yeah, we're joining it.
We're very excited, and we're going to continue to support you in everything that you do. So we're very excited for you.
I appreciate that a lot. So
thank you so much for your time, and thank you for the great music that makes us feel things that we are sometimes afraid to say.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gayle.
I appreciate you very much.